Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Tensura x Kuma Kuma Bear, Tensura by NullAzatoth Chapter 11. The day of the party has come. Rimuru. Girls, are you done yet? Velzard. Dear, give us more time, we aren't done. Shuna. Donna-sama, we girls have our preparations, you know. Shizu. That's right, dear. Rimuru. You, Cliff. Well, women will be women. Rimuru. I get what you mean, sigh. Currently, Yuna, Fina and the girls are preparing while Rimuru, Cliff, Diablo and Devil are waiting. It has been 30 minutes since they started. Rimuru. Can't they just use magic? Diablo. Well, my lord shouldn't say those things or you will get an earful from the madams. Rimuru. Oi, since when were you like this? I thought you were always on my side. Diablo. That's true, but all of my lord's wife technically has more power and authority than you when it comes to things. That is well known in Tempest. What the queens and empresses wants, the queens and empresses gets. Rimuru. What in the name of Veldanava did you just say? Don't tell me I have a reputation of being submissive to my wives? Diablo. Sadly, that seems to be the case, unless you want a sermon from Seal-sama. Rimuru. Sigh. Rimuru just gave up. Minutes later, all the girls came out. Each and every one of them were beautiful in their attires. Even Cliff couldn't help but stare at his wife. Currently, she is wearing a purple dress that emphasizes her assets. Velzard gave her one of her dresses she hasn't used. It was a normal dress, but the quality of the material was top-notch. Shuna did everyone's hair and makeup, making them naturally beautiful with the light makeup. Fina, Grace, Shia and Nore were quite eye-catching. But the most that would catch any man's eyes would be Shizu, Shuna, Velzard and Yuna. Any man would long for such woman. Rimuru. Well, you girls are beautiful. Rimuru stated. But on the other hand, Rimuru and Diablo would catch any woman's heart. Devil would be eyed by young ladies. Velzard. This is only normal as we are your wives. Shizu. Indeed, as your empresses we must show the difference. Shuna. As they say, my lord. Meanwhile, Yuna just blushes. Rimuru. Sigh, but some annoying nobles would come to you girls. Velzard. Jealous? Grin Rimuru. Forget jealousy, I'd tore their bodies limb by limb. Shuna. Calm down, Donna-sama. No men will be able to get near us. No one is worthy enough, besides you. Shizu. Indeed, we are more worried that you would seduce women, sigh. Rimuru. Oh come on, it's not that bad. Velzard. Rikun. I'd be more surprised if no woman fall for you. Shuna. Right? Rimuru. Sigh, anyways, let's go. Diablo, prepare the carriages. Diablo. Understood. Rimuru and the others rode the carriages towards the castle. Upon arrival, Rimuru stepped out of the carriage. Immediately all women looked towards him. I mean, who wouldn't? Rimuru's beautiful blue hair that captivated both man and woman, the golden piercing eyes that attracted any being, the perfect face that made anyone fall, such would make any woman do his bidding. As Rimuru reached out his hand towards the carriage, he assisted 4 women that once again attracted the surroundings. Female noble. Who is that man? Female noble 2. He looks perfect. Are those his wives? I wonder if I could become a concubine. Female noble 3. Such beautiful hair and that piercing golden eyes, I think I'm wet. Velzard, Shizu, Shuna and Yuna, who heard this, glared at the girl. Meanwhile, noble. Beautiful, noble 2. Indeed, maybe they are his relatives. I'll try to ask them on a dance later. Noble 3. Clearly they're out of your league. Noble 4. Hee, what beauties. This time Rimuru released his killing intent. All women and men distanced themselves from the group. Rimuru. TCH, if they try anything, I'm erasing their whole family from the face of this reality. Velzard. Rikun, calm down. Rimuru. TCH, Rimuru and the others entered the castle. Meanwhile, Cliff and Eleanor together with Nore and Shia went ahead. Rimuru took Fina besides him to guard her in case some asshole tried anything. Yuna would be on Fina's left side. It looked like a couple with their child. While the others gathered behind Rimuru, Rimuru released an aura of dominance. The aura of authority, the air of a supreme king. Rimuru and Yuna arrived at the hall. There were many nobles there. Suddenly, new faces, I haven't seen you around? Rimuru turned to a man who seems to be in his late 30s. Rimuru. The king invited us to his birthday, is there anything you need? Ah, nothing, just got interested. That's right, introduction is a must. I am the current head of the House of Travis, Leonard von Travis. Rimuru. I see a Duke EY. My name is Rimuru, Rimuru Tempest. That is all you need to know. These are my wives and this here is Fina. Leonard. I see, quite inviolable to have such beautiful women. Rimuru. Well, they are my wives, of course they're beautiful. The girls were smug and Fina blushed, she isn't used to this. Leonard. I see, smirk, both Rimuru and Leonard liked each other's character. Leonard. I'll go ahead, Rimuru Dono, I'd be delighted to learn more about you. Rimuru. I as well, Leonard. They then parted ways. Saws me time later. Ferret. It is great to have everyone attend my party, and to have survived the monster swarm days earlier. Let us enjoy this moment to our heart's content. Applause and cheers. The girls decided to head for some food. Rimuru meets up with Cliff. Rimuru. So Cliff know anything about a man named Leonard? He's from the House of Travis? Cliff was surprised. Cliff. Wait, Leonard you say? He is the head of the Travis ducal house and the most powerful, second only to the king. Rimuru. Ho. What an interesting man. Cliff. Well, I guess he wouldn't be much for you, huh? Rimuru. Not one bit. I've seen many people, be it royalty or commoner. I just see them as the same. To begin with, they are nothing more than humans who attained good wealth, money and authority. They are nothing special. Cliff. True, I guess. Rimuru. Hey, anyway, where are Eleonora and the kids? Cliff. Oh, they might have. Cliff couldn't finish his words as he heard some commotion going on. Noble. Huh? And who do you think you are? Which house are you from anyways? Do you not know who I am? Velzard. A nobody? Noble. You? I am from the house of Prenva a Margrave? Velzard. Like I said, a nobody. Noble. How dare you? Noble too. Oi, woman, show respect to a Margrave, Shizu. And who are you supposed to be? Noble too. I am a Viscount House of Vanis. Shizu. So another nobody? Noble 3. TCH, how dare you insult nobility, do you not know the consequences? Shuna. The only thing I see here is you people not understanding the stupidity you are doing. Noble 1. You bitch. I kindly asked you to be my concubine, you should have been honored. Velzard. And I not so kindly rejected you, Noble 4. Oi, do you want to die? If you grovel down and ask for forgiveness, we might forgive you if you please us. Noble 5. Yeah, women should just be submissive and please us. Shizu. So pitiful pigs. Nobles. You, Rimuru. Enough, what is happening here, Velzard? Ah dear, this filth asked us to be his concubine and be their toys. Rimuru. Ho. Glare, Shizu. They even threatened us with their so-called noble authority. Rimuru. Is that right? Rimuru's eyes were now slid like a dragon's. Shuna. Even stated that we become submissive and please them. Rimuru. I see, Devil, Lilith, Grace. They are so FCKNG dead. Yuna. Ah, they are done. Diablo. Well, I pray that you pass to the afterlife. Noble 1. Ha. Is this your husband? He seems like a nobod. Ah. The noble couldn't continue as Rimuru was already in front of him and broke his arm. Cliff. SHT those idiots. Rimuru. I guess I need to show you people your place. Rimuru released his aura, suffocating the nobles and their followers. Rimuru. Now then, Noble 1. Ag. Stop. Rimuru broke his legs and arms, then stepped on his head. Rimuru. Ho. But I am not done yet. Rimuru then tore off his left hand. Noble 1. Og. This gruesome scene made some of them puke. Rimuru. Now look what you made me do. This was supposed to be a king's birthday party, yes. Rimuru turned towards the other nobles, then with a swift movement of his fingers. They all fell on the ground with broken bones and severed limbs. Truly horrifying. The guards tried to intervene, but Rimuru merely glanced at them and they were on their knees. The rest of the knights followed, being pinned on the ground. The rest of the nobles were simultaneously kneeling, trying to breathe. Misa and her grandfather, who was talking with Leonard, were shocked and looking at Rimuru troubled. Gran. Those morons, they don't know who they just angered. Gran said furiously. Leonard. Do you know Rimuru, Gran? Gran. Yes, of course I know him, and I know something that you don't, and the fact that he must never be angered at all cost, or else this country is doomed. Leonard looks towards Rimuru. He was interested in this man, but also understood the dangers he holds. To anger him is a big mistake, but he wishes to know more. He was different, like he didn't live in this world, but another plane of existence. The king, who saw the commotion, went to the place with his guards, son, wife and minister. King. What is happening here? This is bad, Elnart. Yes, it is, father. King Ferret. Remind me why those fools are here again. Zhang. Hika, they are high-ranked nobles. Sai, we need to find a way to calm Rimuru-sama down. They were having this discussion since they know they can't really do anything at this point. The nobles who saw the king hoped to be saved, but after seeing that the minister, the prince and the king himself doesn't move or say anything, means he has no intention of going against this man. This means they are FC-ked. Rimuru. Any last words before I erase you and your whole family from the face of reality? The nobles were pale and horrified, but an angel has descended. Fina. Rimuru, nay, please don't. Fina hugged Rimuru. Rimuru. Fina, this detestable pigs dared to say those vulgar words to my wives, and looked at Yuna with lustful eyes. Do they not deserve death? Fina. I know that, but to kill them outright would only serve as escape for what they have said and done. Rimuru. So you mean to tell me that I should torture them first? If that is all, I can torture their souls for eternity. Fina then denied him. Fina. They are obviously bad people, so they have done many bad things. If you kill them now and not look for the wrongdoings they have done, how will they be punished? Indeed, what she says is true. Rimuru is a reasonable and sensible man. He knows this, but when his wives are insulted or attacked, he throws all logic out of the window. Rimuru has a soft spot for Fina, hence he listens to her and gains some of his sanity. The others were quite surprised by Fina's words. That wasn't something a child of her age would say. Fina. And their family is not involved in this. We can find out who are bad and good later, but please don't kill those who are innocent amongst their family. They might have been forced to be married to them, and the children are obviously innocent. Rimuru. Innocent or not, they might look for revenge, and some children are not always innocent. They may be affected by their surroundings and became vile creatures. Fina. But giving them a chance would not be bad. They can change, and if they don't, then they're to be punished, not killed. They're only children's. Rimuru, who looked at Fina blankly, turned towards the nobles. Rimuru. You fools have been given mercy. Enjoy your life while you can. Rimuru then permanently immobilized them by destroying their limbs. Rimuru then turned towards Fina, then patted her. His eyes were back to normal and had a soft expression. Rimuru. Fina, I'm sorry you had to see that side of me. Rimuru said with regret. Rimuru. I have lost my humanity long ago, and became cold and brutal. Fina denied him. Fina. You were only following your instincts. You tried to protect Yuna, Oni-chan and the others. Rimuru. I know, but I also know what I have become. Fina. It's not Ni-chan's fault. Rimuru. It is. I am a ruler, a being of power. Embodiment of chaos. This is me, this is who I am. Fina. But you are nice and kind to me, and others as well. You just become overprotective. Fina smiled. Rimuru took a deep breath and exhaled. Rimuru. I see. Rimuru then turned towards Ferret. Rimuru. Seems like your party got disrupted, Ferret. King. Well, what can we do if idiots from my country angered you? Well, we can just continue this party. Rimuru. The mood got destroyed, but I've got just the thing. Rimuru stretches his hand out, then suddenly tables with different foods and some liquor appeared. Then he walked to direction, then once again stretched out his hand. Musical instruments then appeared. A drum set, bass, guitars, keyboard and a microphone, connected to multiple amps and speakers. Rimuru then took the microphone while the people were whispering with each other. They asked who Rimuru is and what he brought out and what type of magic did he use. Rimuru. Test mic, test mic. The nobles were shocked. How could he amplify his voice? Rimuru. Well then, I apologize for the inconveniences earlier since some fools dared to mock me and my wives. Anyways, to get the mood running, me and my wives will play music for you all, something none of you ever heard of. Everyone was still afraid but Alsh interested. Shizu without any delay took the bass, Shuna took the keyboard, Velgrind went for the drums and Velzard along with Rimuru used guitars. The king and the nobles were intrigued as to what these instruments are and how they sound. Rimuru made it so that the amplifiers were tuned perfectly and the volume was balanced together with the pre-tuning of each sound processors. Rimuru gave the girls a song through thought communication. With a glance Shuna started to play a soft melody, Velzard followed with a clean tone of chords, Shizu and Velgrind synchronized with a soft beat. Velgrind mostly used the hi-hat and slapped the stick at the edge of the snare head making a calm beat. Rimuru on his part took a more reverb tone with an overdrive effect to create the melody. Rimuru and the girls played the Walking Castle. With this instruments in each setting the originally orchestral song became a soft progressive instrumental. The nobles were awed one by one they started to dance, the vibe of the music isn't as calm as the usual music but lively and soft, it was truly an interesting piece for them. The song was akin to ballad, taking their partners, wife, fiancé to dance with the beautiful melody. Rimuru using guitar techniques and perfect vibrato, he imitated the violin melody with ease. Shuna and Velzard were complementing each other's chord while Shizu is filling up the notes with a low tone making it whole. Velgrind although using minimal sound and relying on the simple hi-hat and stick slap, she was giving it music a more metronomic feel, while occasionally using the kick to form the heart of the music. Overall it came into a slight aggressive performance when approaching the melody intervals between the piano and guitar, it was a thug of war between notes. The king and queen couldn't help but also dance, Cliff took Eleonora to dance as well. Meanwhile Yuna who was fascinated since she knew the music well. Rimuru and the others could tell. Diablo took out a violin and cello, he gave the violin to Yuna. Yuna. B but I don't know how to play. Diablo. Here Yuna-sama, this is all the prior knowledge about using the violin. Yuna. B but I don't have any experience with this, what if I messed up and ruined this beautiful music? Diablo. You wouldn't. Just listen and follow, look at the flow of the notes, look for the tempo of the drums, blend with the harmony of the piano and guitar, take the notes to create the melody of the music, make the instrument sing and let your emotions flow to the violin. Yuna took a deep breath and used thought acceleration to learn the violin. Within seconds she now understands the musical theories, she may not have the techniques but she has bare to control her movements and improve her playing. She only needs to play the notes and let her body take over, while her mind makes the decision. Yuna. Sigh. Shuna seeing Yuna and Rimuru's gaze understood. Without any mistakes she took a rundown of notes to make the perfect entrance for Yuna. Shizu and Velzard assisted with a few intervals of notes, they basically improvised mid-chorus. Yuna with her violin made a high notes of melody overlapping and even overshadowing Rimuru. This caused a sudden flow of melody making the music enter a whole different vibe. It is as if you were riding a plane when it suddenly dived down and descended perfectly turning into a boat. The music climb a key, and throughout this song Rimuru assisted with passing notes and simple bends and pull-offs to emphasize the violin more. When the music finally finished, clap, clap, clap. Series of applause were heard along with praises. Noble. Amazing, that was magnificent. Noble too. Yeah, I wonder what those instruments are and where they came from. Duchess. I would love to hear more. Marchioness. Indeed the sound of the beautiful melody would be great in a garden. Margrave. Ah, such beautiful music. Duke. Truly wonderful, especially when the girl entered with that melody, it was like a sudden change of surroundings from a green grass lands to that of the beautiful mountains. Viscount. I can't agree more. The aristocrat and nobles were delighted with this. Rimuru. Well then, since you guys like this music, do you want more? Or better yet, something different, a more romantic vibe? They were once again interested and intrigued, the king and his group were also excited. Rimuru. Since the offering of presents will be done in a few minutes, let us have this time and enjoy the presence of our partners in life. This may be a birthday for the king, but let us enjoy the dance between His Majesty Ferret and Her Majesty Queen Kidia. When Rimuru said this, He made a ball of light, then used elemental energy to make different colors. The lights would move to different directions with beams of different color. The ballroom lights considered but not completely, it served more beautiful. Rimuru felt like a host on a wedding right now, especially when the settings were the same, from birthday to a wedding vibe. Rimuru. Everyone may dance with their partners, me and my wives will play the perfect music for all LFU, now then, once again I give you King and Queen of Elfanica. Rimuru then played a certain melody that was well known to many weddings. Rimuru played the intro of Wonderful Tonight. He used a heavy clean tone to make it soothing and romantic. The king and queen went to the center and started the dancing, the others couldn't help but join the two. Everyone only had their wife and husband on their minds right now, the music was just that beautiful for them. It was as if the day when they first fell in love with their partners came once again, as cringe as it may sound they were all on their own worlds. Yuna fully knows the song played melody and synchronized with Rimuru's. Rimuru went near the microphone and sang the lyrics. Rimuru. It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup and brushes her long green hair. And then she asks me, do I look all right? And I say, yes, you look wonderful tonight. Rimuru's voice was truly perfect for the song. But Yuna felt something was amiss with the lyrics. She knew the lyrics well, and the hair mentioned was NKT green but blonde. She turned to Rimuru only to see him looking at her. Rimuru. We go to a party and everyone turns to see this beautiful lady that's walking around with me. And then she asked me, do you feel all right? And I said, yes, I feel wonderful tonight. And she finally understood Rimuru is actually singing to her. Rimuru. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes. And the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. Rimuru played the ad-lib. Yuna on the other hand couldn't help but looked into Rimuru's longing eyes. Rimuru truly loved her with his whole being and wouldn't let anyone harm her or any of his other wives. Rimuru. It's time to go home now and I've got an aching head. So I give her the car keys and she helps me to bed. And then I tell her, as I turn out the light. I say, my darling, you were wonderful tonight. Oh my darling, you were wonderful tonight. Yuna, who was in a trance, didn't notice that Rimuru after playing the ad-lib took her to the dance floor while dancing. Currently Rimuru leaves a parallel existence to sing. So he and Yuna could have their time. Rimuru. So Yuna, may I have this dance? Yuna nods. Rimuru. You know you have good people by your side, Yuna. Yuna. I know. Rimuru. Treasure them, and don't lose them, you now have that power, and you have me and the others by your side. Tempest is on your side. If you ever need it, Tempest is prepared to move with your words without my consent, they are prepared to follow you any moment. Yuna. I understand, but let us not talk about that and think about those things. I only want you to look at me just for today, no one else in your mind but me and only me. Yuna said with a hint of red on her cheeks. Rimuru smiled. Rimuru. Of course, my queen. Rimuru and Yuna enjoyed their moment while it lasted. The song took a whole 20 minutes, since they extended it and added a second song. Everyone besides Rimuru's wives noted. They were enjoying it so much. The king and his ministers planned to ask if Rimuru could teach them the music later, and make similar instruments for them. Rimuru. Well then, I thank you for listening to our music. You could say this is also my gift to you, King Ferret. If you want, I can't give you some instruments similar to this. It may not be as loud, but it has similar sounds, and I can teach some LF your people later. Hearing this, the king and his ministers were quite happy. They would be able to hear those music again. He took the instruments back to where they came from. The nobles and aristocrats were a bit sad since they enjoyed the music, but held back since this is the king's birthday. King. Indeed, I enjoyed it, Rimuru Dono. It was an amazing present. I was able to enjoy my time with my wife on my birthday. He said while his scythe clings to her. She is quite clingy after the music. Rimuru. Don't mention it. Then a line was made to give the king his presents. Some gave treasures and stuff, but honestly none of that can really be eye-catching. The best present would be rocks, being a goblin king's sword. Finally it was Yuna's turn. Yuna, your majesty, happy birthday. Yuna first stared with Fina, who is nervous, trembling a bit. King Ferret. I thank you, Yuna Dono, and Fina, you don't have to be so nervous. Fina. Hi. Yuna. So your majesty, you see, I tried to look for a gift but couldn't find anything to be of use. So I looked around but none until I meet up with Rimuru's friend and let me have this. Yuna said as she took out what seems to be a telephone used before wireless phones were invented. King. What is it? The king asked interestedly. The queen and ministers were also interested to what this is. Yuna. Your majesty, this is a revolutionary machine that will change the course of history. Long-distance communication will be easier. King. Ho? The king was interested with stars in his eyes. Yuna. This here is a telephone. King. Telephone, you say? Yuna. It can be used to talk in long distances. Using this line you may be able to communicate anywhere. Here, take this, your majesty. Yuna gave the other end of the telephone, which is a whole telephone powered with magicules. When Yuna held the phone while dialing the call, the one on the king's side rang. King. The king took the phone and, Yuna. Can you hear me, your majesty? King. Wah. I can hear your voice in this. Yuna then returned the phone. Yuna. Indeed, with this, talking from different distance will be easy, as long as the line is not enhanced or cut. Minister. Unbelievable. Queen. This will improve the kingdom as a whole. King. Are you sure you're giving something as valuable as this to me? Yuna. Like I said, it's a gift, however you use it is yours to decide. Plus Rimuru-san will give you more later once the alliance is settled, so this is an early gift. Yuna smiled. The king, minister and queen were frozen in silence, then smiled. King. I see, I thank you, queen. We are grateful for this, Yuna-san. Yuna. You're welcome, and happy birthday, your majesty. The nobles and aristocrats who heard the conversation were all shocked. If this was improved and circulated, the growth of their kingdom will undoubtedly be unfathomable. As such, Rimuru and Yuna's reputation increased. Meanwhile, crack, crack, glitch, glitch. Some wand of glitchy worm-like entity is eating the game realities system. It has eaten many universes before coming here and has become a virus. Now it is trying to eat and adapt to magicules while consuming some of the magicule residue that killed Yuna. And some traces of turn null. What absurd SHT will happen?